If you're a dude who struggles in relationships with other dudes, take a walk with me. I want you to know that you're not alone in that experience, and you feel the way that you do for a variety of valid reasons. Right about now, a group of people have already made it to the comment section to say, well, what about me? And we experienced this too. And to that I say, in the most caring way possible, not every video on the internet is going to be for you. Instead of making this about you, think about someone that you really care about that could use this message. I was catching up with a male therapist friend of mine this morning, and I asked him the question, do you get a lot of clients who have an adverse or negative relationship with men? And I have to say that I wasn't surprised by his answer. They tend to seek out female therapists and coaches, as well as male therapists who have a passive and non-authoritative demeanor, which makes sense. The first thing I want to say is, good job. I'm proud of you for making yourself a priority and finding the help and assistance that you need. Second to that is that this almost seems to be a rite of passage when you enter into personal development. For someone who suffered adverse experiences in childhood, there's a profound loneliness and sense of abandonment that leads to isolation that's often associated with that. You wanted desperately to trust the male figures in your life, but they didn't give you a reason to. While this doesn't encompass all the potential experiences, it does shine a light on a few. What you told yourself and constantly reminded yourself of is that as you grow up, you're not going to become exactly like that person. Instead, you're going to do the opposite. However, that desire to be the opposite has left you in just as much pain and suffering as you've always been in. This is the gateway to a new experience. You find yourself asking the question, who am I? Because I don't want to be that, but yet I'm not this other thing. So who is it that I'm trying to become? What does that actually look like? The next logical step here is that you're going to get a therapist, and I applaud you once again for making that decision and making yourself a priority. Problem often becomes, and this is expected, that you step into a type of transference. Relationships often feel safe and secure because they're familiar and it's what you grew up with. And just because you grew up with it doesn't mean safety and security was actually present in that relationship. And if you don't believe me, just go look at the comments sections. It's a bunch of thirsty dudes. Hola, mami, mucho gusto. And this is just a friendly reminder. Keep the professional relationship. You don't need to know the @ of your therapist, and quite honestly, they shouldn't have one on that page anyway. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that takes all your money and time. It's really just an expensive coping mechanism that leaves you feeling less than. The other problem is there's a popular narrative that is often unhelpful about toxic masculinity. You really have to look at it from the perspective that we have humans, and humans are prone to toxic behaviors. That means all humans, even you. Boop. And this is often influenced by a variety of factors. And this is where everybody likes to intellectualize everything and blame everything that is external to them for all of their life's problems instead of taking ownership and responsibility for yourself and the situation and circumstances that you're in currently. And what that really means and why people are adopting this mindset is that it all starts with you. Meaning that if you want change, you're the one that has to change, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You put something in those buckets each and every day as much as you possibly can. And that has compounding interest over a long period of time, at which point you're going to feel more capable, competent, and confident with who you are as a person and your place in the world. You'll find that you start to orient yourself in the direction that you actually want to be going in your life. You'll find that when you know, like, and trust yourself, that other people will too. You'll find that when you deploy self-compassion in your life, that you often release yourself from that mental prison filled with shame that was never yours to begin with. You'll think, oh, that belonged to them, and they projected it onto me. And then it compounded as you had your own throughout time. Right now, one of you is thinking, yeah, but what about the stigma around men's mental health? I can tell you as a former first responder, that perspective is the problem. It's what perpetuates the stigma. It makes it long-lasting. If you want it to stop, start talking about things a little bit differently. The other thing that I see is there's never just balance and harmony in that conversation. It always goes from one extreme to the other. don't do that. The conversation around men's mental health is important, and I can tell you, having worked crime scene, I'm familiar with the alternative. There's also a lot of low-hanging fruit that you can do in your life right now, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Number one being, get your testosterone checked and figure out where you're at. You just might be surprised. Number two, go to the gym, eat well, read books, listen to podcasts. Number three, stop the online behavior that's depleting you in all of those areas. For this next one, don't get defensive. Don't get defensive. Don't get defensive. Don't get defensive. Do a mental inventory of all the things that you consume and ask yourself, is this helpful or unhelpful? Sobriety is cool. There's nothing wrong with it. Stop making people feel bad for it. Last but not least, take an inventory of the people that you spend the most time with and ask yourself if those are the relationships that are going to carry you through into this next version that you're becoming. You don't have to get rid of all your friends, but you can reprioritize the time that you spend with them. One of the biggest changes in my own life was connecting with people that I admire, that I like, that I trust, and that reciprocate those things back to me. I think the best part is we all want to see each other win. We want to see each other be happy, healthy, wealthy, and well.